All right, folks, we're talking a monster football game on Thanksgiving Day. Brian Blessing wishing you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. Our friends at ATS.io, our good buddy Adam Burke, I join him on this podcast every Tuesday. We're talking about Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Used to be the easiest thing for the odds makers. Just hang the home team -3, and the visitor win the game. That ended up kind of being the case here, where initially, this number was a touch lower, but Baltimore loses to Tennessee. Pittsburgh stays unbeaten, and we saw them a -3 favorite. It's through the key number of 3 at 3.5. The total's what's moderately interesting here. 45.5, 46 is the total. Now, these two teams played on November 1st, and Pittsburgh beat the Ravens 28-24. Again, a few weeks deeper into November here, you got to look at the weather. What I'm seeing is in the mid to high 40s on Thursday night. It looks like rain could be in the forecast. Rain's not the end of the world. Wind certainly can be in Pittsburgh. The first matchup between these two, Roethlisberger was 21-32. He only threw for 182 yards, but he threw two touchdowns, but he protected the football. The difference being Lamar Jackson, he threw for 2 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 interceptions. And we're seeing slowly but surely teams around the league rushing fewer guys, spying Jackson, making him beat them as a quarterback from the pocket. He's still going to make electric plays. It's impossible to really contain him throughout the course of 60 minutes. But the Ravens, all of a sudden, as of this minute, they're out of the playoffs. Can you believe that? They're 6-4. But here's who they close with: Dallas, Cleveland, the Jags, the Giants, and Cincinnati. So even though it's a little rough patch here for the Ravens, they're going to be fine in terms of getting in. But Pittsburgh unbeaten, you get everybody's best shot, plus it's your big rival. The rub for the Ravens, though, it's the short week. Nobody likes being home at Thanksgiving, so it's a business trip. That's okay. But they're coming off a really physical football game that went to extra time against Tennessee, squandered the lead. Henry gets the winning touchdown. Listen, the Ravens are still a very good football team. Maybe they circle the wagons, and they're going to get well at the end of the year against the opponents they're about to face. But maybe not this week. Tough to travel, short week, arch rivals. They could have a stone in their shoe from losing that one. The total, though, 45.5, and I know they can punch each other in the mouth here, but I got a funny feeling if Juju Smith-Schuster got nicked up in the game, but Roethlisberger obviously has got Claypool, but now he's got a brand new shiny toy, Deontay Johnson, over 100 yards receiving the past 2 weeks. He had 12 catches on 16 targets for 111 yards. I think these teams can produce points, and if the wind is not the big issue, if it's just rain, unless it's like that rain in Baltimore and New England, I think they can still produce points. I think this is a wild game. Both teams highly motivated. Ravens want to send a message for down the road. Pittsburgh wants to stay unbeaten. I think it gets a little up and downish. Maybe some points to be produced here. Brian Blessing wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving on behalf of our friends at ATS.io.